RNZ Pacific News, South Lava, Oseomana Rangitaiki. The new president of the Federated States of Micronesia says national and regional unity is his top priority for his term. The new administration, led by President Wesley Simena, is still in the process of filing the roles of ambassadors and officials. Wesley Simena spoke with RNZ Pacific at the tail end of the Pacific Islands Foreign Leaders Summit in Rarotonga.
Understand our unity is our strength and our prosperity. Our first focus, we have to find a common ground that will keep us together. And from that, we are also looking at our own region, the Micronesian region. We have science governments to deal with, and being the chairman of the NPS, I am very mindful of that.
Mr. Simena says infrastructure is another issue that needs addressing. But first, he says the US Congress needs to approve its compact of free association at pace. Otherwise, SSM will be staring down a fiscal cliff. Tropical cyclone Mal is forecast to continue to get stronger before entering Fiji waters. Fiji Met Service says Mal will likely reach Category 2 strength within 12 hours, which will mean average wind speeds close to the centre will be between 89 to 117 kilometres per hour. Forecaster Famisoni Wangavangatonga says Mal is on track to get closest to Fiji at 3 a.m. Wednesday morning and will be 170 kilometres west of Lundy. Mr. Wangavakatonga says the cyclone was moving fast at about 28 kilometres per hour in southeast direction.
The high chances that the environment is favourable for Mal to intensify further into Category 2 system within the next 6 to 12 hours before heading into Fiji waters.
He says the system is expected to reach the high end of Category 2 at its peak strength, potentially Category 3. The Waiman Koha, a ship providing critical dental care to remote Pacific communities, has been hit with a $300,000 repair bill. The ship operates as a mobile dentist and is owned by Christian Group Youth with a mission New Zealand. Waiman Ship's Managing Director, Marty Emmett, says over 5,000 people in isolated areas of Fiji have received Koha's help.
So for us, we really feel obligated to keep going. The ship will provide the services that breaks the obstacles to access in these maritime islands.
Waiman can cover a third of the cost, but must come up with $200,000 by the end of November. Members of the United Nations are lowering flags around the world today to honour colleagues who have been killed in Gaza. At least 101 members of the UN Palestinian Relief Agency, known as UNRWA, have lost their lives in Gaza since the war broke out last month. Our correspondent William Denslow reports from UN headquarters in New York.
The death toll of United Nations workers in Gaza is the highest in the world body's nearly 80-year history. According to UNRWA, engineers, teachers and healthcare workers were among its staff members killed in Gaza over recent weeks. tomorrow. At deaths of UNRWA staff, UN officers have lowered flags for half-mast. General Antonio Guterres also joined a minute silence at UN headquarters earlier on Monday. A veteran Samoan journalist has been awarded the prestigious Freedom of the Media Award for excellence in commentary and criticism at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. The award is in recognition for Langipoiva Sherelle Jackson's outstanding work in advocating for the rights of minority journalists around the world. Langipoiva started her journalism career as a reporter for Samoa Observer at the age of 19 years, and 6 years later was appointed editor for the Newsline newspaper in Apian. Amate from Savaii, Langipoiva has spent over 20 years reporting on climate change, human rights, gender and culture. She's currently employed by the Associated Press. The Cook Islands has officially begun preparing to attend the Pacific Arts Festival in Hawaii next June. Registrations for interested participants closed on Friday, and the Ministry of Culture will begin hosting auditions this week. Its acting secretary, Emil Kairua, says they are looking for team members with multiple talents. The ministry will be choosing 16 members over the audition process who will be fully funded for the trip.
The selection criteria will be based on multiple skills. You know, if you can play the ukulele, if you can sing, if you can make a headache, make a tunes, and do whatever, your chances of going is that much better.
Mr. Kairua is excited to meet all the registered candidates and kick off performance rehearsals. In sports, Team Fiji Boxing expects their 7 boxers that will be competing at the 2023 Pacific Games in Honiara, Solomon Islands, to win medals at the event. Fiji Amateur Boxing Association President Manase says the boxers have prepared well and have had good competition against boxers from Kiribati, Tuvalu and Australia.
We're looking at all 7 to medal at the Games. Our boys have been playing well in the last 2 months. We've had teams from the national teams from Kiribati, it was a bus from Tuvalu. Also, about 2 weeks ago, we had the state representative side from South Australia and his team, and also to compete with our boys, and our boys also did very well.
The Games will officially open on November 19, with boxing scheduled for the second week of competition. The Black Caps want to tighten up their bowling in tomorrow's Cricket World Cup semi-final against India at the traditionally high-scoring Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. During this tournament, South Africa twice posted scores in excess of 350 runs at the venue, and Australia's Glenn Maxwell hit a double century there against Afghanistan last week. Black Caps pace bowler Lockie Ferguson says they expect batter-friendly pitches in India.
From our point of view, it's just trying to understand what the pitch will be like and try to read what a good score on it is, because of course those big overs, 10 runs here, 10 runs there, at the back end of the innings. So from a bowling point of view, we're trying to, shut down those big overs.
Meanwhile, England's managing director Rob Key says his decision to prioritise Test cricket over one-day internationals played a role in the side's dismal World Cup campaign. The defending champions suffered 6 defeats in their first 7 matches of the tournament and failed to qualify for the semi-finals, finishing in 7th place in the points table. And families, friends, fans and footballers have bid a final farewell to Manchester United and England legend Sir Bobby Charlton. About 1,000 mourners paid their respects to one of the game's all-time greats at his funeral in Manchester. The Red Devils icon, who made 758 appearances for the club, died last month at the age of 86. That's your latest RNZ Pacific News. For more on our stories, go to rnzi.com.
It was announced. Koe nā ngā pūrongo haki kena. That's your sports news. Nicola is back with the weather next.
I'm Catherine Ryan. On 9 to noon today, with the closure of birthing centres around the country, are women getting shortchanged over maternity care? Punters at the country's biggest agricultural show get to see sheep milking up close for the first time. Fashion designer Liz Mitchell on her mission to rekindle global recognition of wool for more than just clothing. We get out in the garden with fancy fruit, And what chance do the Black Caps have in the World Cup semi-final against host and favourites India? With me on 9 to Noon on RNZ National.